how much of a fan I consider myself to be of Batman. I was very late to the party on Batman the Caped Crusader. I finished it late and I am reviewing this even later. As you can see probably here and in other places as well, I am a Batman fan. I am definitely biased when it comes to reviewing anything that's related to Batman. I also have some unpopular opinions when it comes to Batman. For one, I do not think that Batman the Dark Knight is the best Batman film. For me, it's the Matt Reeves Batman. I have done a detailed review and then a follow-up video as well about what I loved about this Batman. I think that's the greatest adaptation from comic to screen of Batman for sure. And another unpopular opinion that I'm sharing with you, I know that a lot of people haven't really loved Caped Crusader, but I loved the Caped Crusader. Loved Batman the animated series and watched it when I was growing up. So been privileged enough to watch Batman the live action series, Boom and the Pow and Great Scott Batman, all of that is something that's lived with me ever since. Hence it's a nostalgia overload for sure. I've already said I'm biased. I did love almost everything about Caped Crusader, but I would understand for a lot of fans, for a lot of people who followed Batman over the years, to feel strongly about certain changes that have happened in the Caped Crusader. Should I actually give a spoiler warning here? It's been a while since the show is out, so and all of this is pretty much out in public domain. I'm just gonna go for it. For one, Penguin being made into a woman is something that is gonna be slightly hard to digest. The other bit that people are gonna feel strongly about is Harley Quinn or Harleen Quinzel is a psychiatrist here, but is not straight. So hence that is something that people are gonna point fingers at. My take is that it takes a lot of guts to try something new with a character as iconic as Batman, who's been there for 85 years. My favorite across all superheroes, my favorite literary characters actually. I appreciate the attempt. I don't actually mind Penguin being a woman and an underworld boss. That definitely works. That entire piece where there is a hand-to-hand combat with Batman felt slightly off. If I remember correctly, he never really got into hand-to-hand combat. He was always a step ahead of Batman. Sharpness of his mind was his greatest strength, and he was really shrewd and sharp. He was really intelligent. He never really had to do a hand-to-hand combat. He also had gadgets in his umbrella. Most of that was missing in this rendition of Penguin, which was my disconnect. Not really the fact that they flipped the gender. That doesn't really matter. I thought it was menacing. Actually, don't have an opinion on Harley Quinn not being straight. I felt more strongly about the fact that we don't know why she became how she became. There is no Joker to this Harley Quinn, at least not in season 1. And right at the end of season 1, you have a glimpse of what's gonna be Joker in season 2. I'm really looking forward to that. And I'm really glad that they did not use Joker in the first season. So what you get in season 1 is a lot of underworld. From Arkham World, you have Harley Quinn, you also have Penguin. Eventually, you do get Harvey Two-Face as well. So those are the big ticket villains. Crusader overall is very, very episodic, especially beginning few episodes. I think the first 3 or 4, even 5 episodes, you can watch them one at a time and don't really feel like there's a very strong connection from one to the next. But especially the second half of the season is much more strongly connected from one episode to the other. So there is an overarching storyline that is connecting. It is connecting right from episode 1, but the connections are not as strong in the first few episodes. Some of the things that I really liked, I've already spoken about a few of those, but others were there's a scene where Harley is meeting Bruce Wayne and she kind of sees through what Bruce Wayne is putting up. That was very, very well written. The other part I enjoyed was how they have written the dynamics of Batman with Barbara Gordon as well as Commissioner Gordon. I'm really liking how this relationship between Batman and these characters is panning out. I also really enjoyed the relationship between Alfred and Batman/Bruce Wayne. I think that movement from Pennyworth to Alfred is a very small point, beautifully written. So these are things that you don't expect in an animated series, but that's the beauty of Batman, that's the beauty of this writing, that you really get these unexpected moments of depth, and there is considerable level of depth here. My favorite moment from season 1, the Batarang coming in through the window on Thorn, who's a mob boss, cuts him a little bit on the cheek, so you know that Batman doesn't kill and he doesn't hurt beyond the point of recovery. So cuts him, slices his cheek a little bit, and then he sees outside there is lightning, there is thunder, and in that there is a shadowy figure of Batman with a flying cape standing on the building, and then there is this lightning, and in that light you see the costume glow up. I thought that was beautiful. If you can get over the changes, I think Caped Crusader has a lot to offer. It is again very, very breezy, 20 odd minutes for an episode, and you have 10 episodes, you can finish them in no time. The second half of this season is gonna be very binge worthy. Super biased. Loved it. I would definitely recommend Caped Crusaders. If you haven't watched it, please do watch it. It's not as bad as people are talking about. If you're not a hardcore fan, then all of these changes don't matter to you. So you're gonna have enough to enjoy. If you are a hardcore fan and you're gonna take it to heart, all of these changes, all I'm gonna say is that if they don't try new things, nothing new is gonna happen. Give your love to Caped Crusaders. It's a far better show, far more depth than most of those DC movies that have had millions and millions of box office revenue.